Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we continue our spooky season focused content with a look at my top 10 yearly must watch Halloween movies. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so this list is a list of my personal yearly Halloween like tradition watch movies. These are the movies these are the movies that I watch every single year. I pull them out, and it's kind of like when you watch Christmas movies. You have Christmas movies that you watch every year. If I don't watch other horror movies, which I always do, these are the ones that I'm going to watch no matter what. And I kind of tend to mostly only watch them around Halloween. So it's like you wouldn't watch, most of the time you're not going to watch like Santa Claus movies or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or something like that in May. I probably am not going to watch these movies for the most part, even though some of these are my favorites. I kind of save them for Halloween. So just a fun little list of a top 10. And I have one that is actually going to become a new tradition that's on here that I just discovered. And I talked about it recently. Now, you may see some overlap in some of this with some of my other lists and like my Halloween 31 Days of Horror Challenge list. There'll definitely be some overlap, but there's definitely some different ones, including this one. And this is what's great about movies and physical media is finding new traditions, adding to existing traditions. And this one definitely did it for me. Hopefully it can be a tradition every year where my friends come over who we discovered this movie with and watch it and have fun. And I am talking about Haunted Wean. Absolutely ridiculous, fun movie. Just talked about it on a weekly watch list and recommendations. I definitely recommend this movie. It's just fun. The end kind of leaves you wanting a little bit because they totally planned on having a part two. It even says at the end of the credits, Haunted Wean 2 coming soon, and they never did it. So they kind of leave a wide open hole, kind of a gaping hole there at the end. But it's more about the journey than the destination on this one, and just having a lot of fun. And now I'll forever remember it, and it'll be a part of tradition because me and Risha and my son Logan, we watched it. My friends Chance and Jen came over, and we kind of all discovered this movie together, had good food and fun, and that's how you build traditions and memories. So Haunted Wean, definitely on my every year watch list from now on. Now, next one is one that you guys give me a little bit of hate for, but I like this movie. It came out, I was like 19 years old, I think, when it came out. I had just graduated high school. It has a lot of Scream flavor to it, but I really enjoy Halloween H2O. I know a lot of you say, oh, this movie's horrible. How can you watch it? Well, I watch it every October. This is a once a year type of movie for me. And this is the time of year for it. I mean, come on, it's got LL Cool J. I grew up with LL Cool J way back before he was an actor, when he was a singer. And Jamie Lee Curtis. At the time, Michelle Williams was huge in Dawson's Creek. Josh Hartnett, he's got The Faculty coming out. I mean, they threw a lot at this. Yes, the mask. They use a bunch of different masks. They even use a CGI crappy mask. You see Michael Myers' eyes too much. If you never noticed, they try to make Josh Hartnett look a little bit like him. They're trying to give you a resemblance between the two. That's part of the reason. Maybe it doesn't work. But if your whole thing is like, I can't watch that movie because you see Michael Myers' eyes too much, then you're trashing a whole movie off a collective couple of minutes. I think you need to lighten up a little bit and just kind of have some fun. Yes, I mean, we all have problems with masks, but I'm not going to let that completely derail a movie for me. And I enjoy watching this one every October. LL Cool J's fun in it. I think this is one of the best versions of Laurie Strode. I think she's just the right amount of paranoid and over the top. I think she's too over the top in the new trilogy. She's too under the top in some of the old movies. I think she's perfect in this one. Right amount of terrified. I have fun with Halloween H2O. It's a yearly watch, and I recommend it. What am I going to say? I love it. Now, next one is one that is total Halloween vibes. You got Tim Burton. I was holding my cat. I got cat hair on me. Mando, the Mandalorian Mancoon, and his gray and white hair. The next one's totally Tim Burton. Atmosphere, Hammer-like film. Tons of people you recognize, especially if you're a Hammer horror fan in this movie. It's got Tim Burton's imagination to it. Dark, gothic. I am talking about The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Or just Sleepy Hollow. Christina Ricci, Johnny Depp. The cast is loaded for sure, and you got Christopher Walken playing the Headless Horseman. To me, like, the Headless Horseman is synonymous with Halloween, and like, even when we go to, we're big theme park fans. We go to Disney World. We go to Disney World's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. They have this amazing parade that launches off with the Headless Horseman himself, like somebody as the Headless Horseman riding down through there. The minute I see that, I associate it with Halloween. This has all those vibes for me. I really enjoy it. Like, I'm so into atmosphere. If you guys follow me, you ladies, you guys and you ladies who follow me, you'll know that, like, the atmosphere of movies and the feelings and the vibes are what, like, I am really into, and this just has it, coming out the yin yang here. You have a lot of vibes in Sleepy Hollow. Tim Burton, Johnny Depp has that little bit of Burton weirdness factor. I don't care. I have a lot of fun with it. I was happy to get this steelbook reprint and add it to my yearly Halloween watch list. These are all my traditions, guys. So, like, I and some of them are newer. They haven't been around as long, like this next one here. But since it came on the scene, it's one that I watch every year. And I am talking about Bad Candy. This is a Dread Central film. They had a hand in making it. It has that late night radio DJ that, if you follow me, you know I love that vibe, that trope in horror movies, 100%. I have written it into my next 2 horror films, whichever ones I make. It's going to have a DJ, late night DJ. I just love the setting of that vibe and atmosphere again. Bad Candy is a Halloween anthology, takes place on Halloween night, and it's in New Salem, and it actually is kind of like Zach Galligan from Gremlins, and he is a radio DJ, and Chili Billy is his co-radio DJ, and they tell all of these tales of Halloween, and the twisted, like, tales that they tell are kind of like experienced by these people in this small town. It's all Halloween vibes. There's a scene, there's part of the anthology here that has a lot to do with pumpkins. All of it has Halloween. You see the pumpkins everywhere. You just have those Halloween vibes. So I'm looking for that atmosphere with my yearly Halloween watch. You're looking to get put in that atmosphere and that vibe. Bad Candy does that, and of course the DJ kind of helps sell it for me. It's a little lower budget, so don't go in there expecting high budget, high elevated horror, which is a term that I don't really like. But it is fun, and it made my yearly watch list from the year that I found it, and it comes in here on my list very much the same way the next one does. Once I found this movie, I was like, oh yeah, that's a yearly tradition for me. That's what this is about, establishing traditions. And Tales of Halloween, another Halloween anthology. You're going to see this as a theme here just a little bit. I love anthologies. I've said it before. A lot of people don't like them, but usually, like with me, I always feel like even if you don't like a particular story in an anthology, you'll find 1 or 2 that you do like, so you can kind of get through it. It's not that anthology segments are usually not that long, so if you don't like it, you're going to get through it quick to one you do like. So usually there's a little something for everybody. I like that. This one actually maybe puts too many stories is one knock on it, so it kind of rushes through them kind of quick. But you're going to see a lot of people you recognize in this. Tiffany Shepis, who's been in a lot of horror movies, like Hatchet, I believe she's in. She's been in a lot. And you're going to see a lot of people in here like that. And the 11 top directors, 10 chilling tales, one forgettable Halloween night. So that is one thing, because they do connect. Maybe it's the devil himself that has to do with this in here, and they do connect. But anytime you get like 10 different or 11 different directors and 10 stories, you run the risk of losing the flavor. I think this holds it together well. I think it's fun. And again, even if you don't like all the stories, there you cannot help but be like entrenched in the Halloween vibes and the Halloween atmosphere. That's what I'm going for with my yearly traditions list. I'm always looking for more to add to the traditions here. But like every year at Christmas, there's certain movies I'm going to watch, and we'll do that list too. But these are my Halloween musts, and I kind of leave them alone the rest of the year and save them. That way you don't get burned out on them. You don't watch them too much. You kind of look forward to seeing them again every year. And Tales of Halloween, ever since I found it when it came out, has become one of those on my yearly Halloween traditions list. So, of course, if you guys are following my 31 Days of Horror challenge, you're going to be like, hey, I definitely see some of these on there. Absolutely, because there's no way that I was not going to put them on that list. If you haven't seen that list, you can check it out. Jump in right here at the end and cram in some horror movies. Now, the next one is one that I don't talk about on here a lot because I feel like it's a shameless self-promotion. And that's because it is a movie that I made. And contrary to what you think, a lot of movie makers, like I wrote and directed and edited this film. I'm even in a segment of this film. I don't just sit around and watch the movies I make. As a matter of fact, my wife, Risha, has never even seen this movie that I'm talking about. And I am talking about my horror anthology, Creature Feature. Now, this is one that Dread Central actually called a throwback to classics like Creepshow and Tales from the Dark Side. There was another, I think it was Ain't It Cool News, that said that Creature Feature does it with blood and balls and boobs, blood, and balls, and compared it to Trick or Treat and Creepshow. Several major horror publications comparing it to Creepshow, which to me was a huge, huge, huge compliment. Like, I'll never forget that kind of stuff. It's nowhere to that level. We had a very, very low budget. Everything we had went into the monster makeup in this. But it is a Halloween anthology. It takes place on Halloween night. Halloween is very central to this movie. Everything that's happening is because of Spring-Heeled Jack, who is a take on Jack the Ripper in an old English story. He brings his fog to town, and in the fog, he can create with his power. He can bring things, basically your worst fears, to life in the form of all these monsters and different things. And the story is kind of told out of order, very much Pulp Fiction or Trick or Treat style, and ties everything back together non-sequentially. So it is a lot of fun, and it is actually one, don't just sit and watch your own movies when you make them, because you're usually burned out on them by the time you've made them and edited them. But every year I do pull out Creature Feature. We watch it. My son loves to watch this movie with me, and it is a tradition. And I'm like, it's very humbling to have made something that becomes part of our own family tradition. And, Creature Feature, I think you can still find it out there. People have been asking me. All the rights are reverting back to me, so right now it's just playing out the contracts on some streaming. So I think you can still find it at the time of this recording on Tubi, Freevee, maybe Zumo, might be on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure, but it's still playing out there, and have some fun with it. Creature Feature. All right, next up on my list is a family Halloween classic. I have talked about it a lot recently. I just got this DVD with three different movies on it. I am talking, of course, Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, the interesting thing about this three DVD set I noticed is Ernest Goes to Camp and Ernest Goes to Jail is on one disc, but Ernest Scared Stupid got a disc of its own. So that was kind of interesting. But it is just family fun. Ernest taking on a troll that he accidentally wakes up, and he and the kids, like the rest of the adults in the town, they don't believe it. They're almost inept. So this is very much a kid power thing, although surprisingly scary and dark because the troll turns the kids into wood, takes their souls, all that kind of stuff. But it is up to Ernest and the kids of the town who are his friends, because he's got that very childlike heart and way of acting, to stop these trolls, and this one troll particularly, from coming back and taking over and killing all the kids in the town. And this is one that I introduced my kids to pretty early. They enjoy it. My son is a much more hardcore horror fan now. But we still have a lot of fun with this. This is a yearly tradition on the level of watching, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation style. But Ernest Scared Stupid, you can't go wrong with it. Have fun. I actually recommend all the Ernest movies. He's great, very talented. We lost him too soon. But Ernest Scared Stupid, definitely a Halloween yearly tradition. And of course, you have to have this one on your list. I am talking about Halloween. Yes, of course. Now, the reason Halloween isn't higher on this list is because Halloween is not central to it necessarily. It happens to be the night he came home. But I will also watch Halloween at other times of the year if I just need some Halloween vibes. I need some kind of like a comfort movie, one that I've seen many times, just to feel good. So it would be higher, but it's not one that I just necessarily contain to October or Halloween season, so I had to bump it down a little bit. Classic, John Carpenter, spawned countless sequels here, and The Night He Came Home, Halloween, I mean, what can you say about it? It's a must. You have to watch it. If you're not going to watch it the rest of the year, you have to watch it every October. It should be a tradition for everyone. Halloween 1978 comes in at number 4 on my list. Now, coming in at number 3 on my list is another one in that franchise, but this is one, even though I really love this film, unless I'm really craving some like atmosphere and just need to mentally check out from life, I do try to save this one for October for spooky season. I usually watch it more than once, and I'm talking about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. If you guys follow the channel, you know this is one that I wasn't crazy about when I was a teenager. It didn't have Michael Myers in it. You know, I was a kid when it came out. I'm like, why doesn't it have Michael Myers? And then over the years, I've grown to love this film more and more and more and more. I do try to keep it more special because Halloween is actually very central to this plot. You got Tom Atkins in there trying to figure out the Silver Shamrock Company, what's going on. You've got all kinds of stuff brought into here, and I kind of like that. Like, I'm very much into mystery stuff. I love watching Ancient Aliens and that kind of stuff on the History Channel and just kind of letting my mind wander. I like how they brought in like all these pieces of different things, put them into this story. So occasionally I'll watch it when it's not Halloween if I really need to check out and let my imagination just roll away and let atmospheric vibes. But I try to save it for Halloween season. But again, because I will occasionally watch it outside of there, it's not higher on my list because these last two could easily be 1 and 2. But because of that, it's kind of a little bit lower. But Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, must watch this time of year if you don't watch it any other time. Definitely a tradition. We may sneak it in at other times of the year, usually just me by myself, but all of us are going to watch it as a tradition around Halloween. That leaves 2. And both of these I've talked about a lot lately. But the next one is one that I've talked about. I go to sleep watching it almost every night during Halloween season. So I'll watch it to death right now, and then I'll leave it until next spooky season. And I am talking about Hubie Halloween. It's a ridiculous, funny movie, but it checks every single Halloween box. Takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, so you got that whole vibe. Beautiful fall atmosphere. You've got pumpkins everywhere. You've got Halloween parties. You've got old school music like Monster Mash and stuff like that playing in the movie. You have that late night FM DJ narrating everything. You have some mystery going on. You have a killer there. You have monsters there. You have an insane asylum playing into this. You have cornfields and corn mazes. You have drive-in movie theaters, people in costumes. They literally leave no Halloween vibe or trope unchecked. All of it is in here, and I adore that. I adore that feeling. I love that feeling. Adam Sandler is his goofy self in this. I love his little Swiss Army thermos that he put together that does everything. Just a lot of fun in this movie. I never get tired of it. I could probably watch it the rest of the year, but I try to keep it special, keep that tradition, and save it for spooky season. I did get this on physical media, which you have to basically go to Etsy or eBay for. But I love this movie. I watch it to death this time of year. It is more than a tradition. It's a comfort film, and just kind of puts my mind at ease and lets me enjoy those Halloween vibes. So it comes in at number 2 on our list, which of course leaves one. There should be no question. This is one of my favorite horror films of all time. Before a 4K came out, before anybody else talked about how much they liked it and how it was suddenly one of their favorite horror films, I never heard anybody in the physical media world talking about this very much. I came on months ago, started talking about how this is one of my favorite films. I caught some heat for it. Then it gets an awesome 4K and everybody loves this movie again. I am talking about Trick or Treat. This movie, talk about checking every box. It checks pretty much all those same boxes as Hubie Halloween, but then jumps up the scares and the horror. This movie, this is my Blockbuster box set of the Arrow release. I got this slip, put my Arrow store release in here. This movie, like I made Creature Feature back in 2014. This movie had already inspired me so much. I had loved it so much back then that it inspired me to do Creature Feature and do it at it, and Creepshow inspired me to do Creature Feature. This inspired me to do it non-sequentially, sort of out of order and tie it all in. Like, that's how much I loved this movie. If you watch Creature Feature, you are going to find very big tips of the cap to Trick or Treat and to Creepshow. And this one is just one that I'm going to watch every Halloween. It's Halloween season. I'm going to watch it multiple times. This is my Halloween, the night before Halloween watch. I'll watch this on the 30th. I'll watch this movie to get ready because it goes over the rules and sort of the traditions of Halloween that you should abide by. And it gets me ready for the next day for Halloween. And I'll watch the Halloween movies on like 3 or 4 of them on Halloween, and I'll usually end the night again with Trick or Treat. And I love this movie. The sequences in this anthology that are my favorite, I love the Sweet Dreams Are Made of These, the turn on Little Red Riding Hood with Anna Paquin, the werewolves, all that stuff. Absolutely love it. I love Little Sam, who is the embodiment of Samhain or Samhain, as Americans would grow up saying. I know everybody wants to be a grammar police or whatever and correct it now and say, well, it's Samhain. It was pronounced Samhain. Most of us grew up saying Samhain because we live in America. We didn't pronounce it that way. But it is Samhain. But he is Little Sam, the representation of Samhain. I love this movie. I love this piece of artwork here on this box by Blockbuster Box Sets. I love this box. And it's just a hell of a movie and has everything you could ever want for Halloween. I had somebody say, this movie's a comedy, not a horror. This movie is a horror. It has comedy elements, but this movie is pretty damn brutal in some places. So yeah, it's horror. It definitely has some comedic elements. And the person described it as Creep Show. It's a comedy like Creep Show. Creep Show is very campy and purposely funny. You got, Stephen King with, oh, golly, gee, all this stuff. You're not going to find, this is more serious. I mean, like what they do to the kid and the carving the pumpkins and killing people. Like this is much harder core, but it is also fun. And it is everything about Halloween that us horror fans love in movies. And Trick or Treat is number one for me. I'm going to watch it every year. I usually try to save it because I love it so much. I try to save it until that time. So that's why it comes in at number one, because I stay patient with it and I save it for this time of year. And those are my yearly Halloween traditions. Now, there's definitely other movies out there. Night of the Demons is one that I'll watch around this time, but I will get on a kick and watch those at other times of year. So that's why it's not here. And of course, I watch a lot of other horror movies around this time of year because, hell, that's what you do. You got to soak it in, baby, and enjoy it. But this is my personal yearly Halloween recommendation and traditions list. But I would love to hear yours. What do you watch for Halloween that you just saved for this time of year? What do you think of my list? I hope you enjoyed it. Let's talk about it. We've got a little time left here on our spooky season focused content. Then we're going to go on to some different stuff. But we'll always have horror to talk about. But we will bring in some other stuff and like some Thanksgiving lists and fall lists and Christmas stuff and a November watch list challenge I'm going to come up with. So lots of things coming, but Halloween is rapidly approaching. I am having a Halloween party in my house tonight, the day that you guys see this. And it should be a lot of fun. Get out there and watch some horror movies while you can. Soak it in. Let me know your list. What are your yearly traditions, and what do you think of mine? But if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to help support the channel even more, you can consider joining below at my Patreon link or right here on YouTube. The only difference between the two is Patreon. I can do a little more over there, put some other videos over there that I can't on YouTube maybe, and they take a lot less. But otherwise, you get the same content, access to my filmmaking, behind the scenes videos. I'm working on special content videos right now for members only, and so much more. And of course, your name in lights, and it really does help out the channel, helps me and my family personally. And I really do thank you for hanging out. So like, subscribe, and spread that pop culture word. Let's help keep this channel growing and growing. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, this is Chase with AV Pop Culture saying, be kind, rewind like always, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
I know.